way to exit the FA Cup today. What are your reflections on that one?
Yeah, really tough day. So much to take in. Red cards, late VAR drama. Ultimately disappointed and devastated to lose in the way that we did. I felt the players had given everything. Extra time was so difficult with a man less on each team, so a lot more running and physical exertion. And we just couldn't either force the goal or take it to penalties.
The main talking point was Anthony Gordon's straight red card. He will look likely to miss the Carabao Cup final as a result. What is the blow from that?
Well, we'll have to let the dust settle on it, analyse the incident properly, make sure we make a thorough assessment and a proper assessment of what's happened, and then see what our next step is. I think either way we have to support Anthony in this moment.
How is he feeling at the moment? Have you been able to have any discussions with him after that?
No, I'm straight out here to speak to the media. I think he'll need a bit of support and some communication from us. But yeah, these things happen in the game, and such an emotional game today. And we were desperately disappointed.
There was a lot of talk and points throughout the match. It looked as if Fabian had scored a stoppage time winner. How big of a hit was it psychologically, obviously looking like you'd scored late on and then conceding at the end of extra time as well? Yeah,
they're the emotions you go through, and that's the VAR, that's the role it can play in the game. And I think from the elation of thinking you've won the game to then knowing that you haven't and you've got to commit back to the game, and then of course the low of conceding so late on after the players have given so much to the game. So disappointing experience, but we have to learn from it and come back stronger.
Alex Isak scored on his return to action, but he was taken off in the second half. How is he looking?
I think a little bit of fatigue for Alex. I think he worked incredibly hard for us. So I think hopefully no injury, just a bit of fatigue and he'll be fine.
And Joe Linton, he was back in the starting 11 this afternoon. What were your thoughts on his display and how welcoming is his return?
Yeah, I thought Joe did well. Got through a decent amount of time. I thought he looked physically really good. You can see how hard he's worked on his recovery, so he's a massive player. We're delighted to have him back.
Another player who was not in the squad was Lewis Hall. He missed today's game. It looks like an ankle problem. He's going to be seeing a specialist. What's the severity of his injury?
We don't know yet. We're waiting to see. He completed the Liverpool game, had a little bit of pain towards the end of the game. Didn't recover great, had a bit of swelling in there. So went to have a scan and then on to the specialist, so we're awaiting that feedback.
And you're back to Premier League action in 8 days' time against West Ham United. Obviously the players and the fans and yourself will be hurting, no doubt, after today's game, but how do you turn this disappointment to your advantage?
Yeah, well, that's what we have to do. I think we have no other choice, and I think probably the 8 days is a good thing. Let the dust settle and the emotion go out of this performance and result, and then get back to the training ground and start to try to refine our best qualities, our best feeling. Certainly I don't think we've been particularly good technically in the last group of games, and I think